Swadika, welcome to ASEAN Talks on ASEAN TV. I am Tulip Naksompop, your host in this episode. We have the Chief of Culture Unit of the UNESCO Regional Office Asia Pacific, Dr. Tim Kurt. Swadika.
Swadika.
First of all, thank you very much to accept the invitation to come talk to us today. So as I understand, the government has invited the experts to UNESCO.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you, Kuntulip, for having me here. Yes, the government puts in the request to UNESCO, although we've been speaking a lot to them, and there's a lot of Thai expertise, but there has been some areas where they have asked us to help source some experts to assess the damage.
So, as I understand, you send in three experts?
At the moment, there's been a team of 3 experts who've gone to the site just last week. A mural painting expert from Italy, a hydrologist based in Holland, in our institute in Holland, and 2 Japanese experts on conservation as well, who visited the site. There will be some more Japanese experts going next week, I believe, on the 21st, now in 2 weeks. And we will also bring in another expert from Italy, from Venice, on urban planning and heritage within a water city. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the similar case that has been assessed by the UNESCO?
There were floods in Pakistan last year, where there was a number of heritage sites where we were also able to provide some assistance through the World Heritage Center and the World Heritage Fund on the expertise. We've had all sorts of disaster sites, I'm thinking, in Asia. Of course, in 2003, the Bam earthquake in Iran was a very serious earthquake with very serious damage. Or even the destruction of the Bamiyan Buddhas, which was completely human motivated, but it's still a disaster for the heritage site.
Right.
So these are the kinds of areas where UNESCO has been able to work with the concerned authorities to rehabilitate the sites. And often it also involves trying to mobilize other countries to come on board and offer their expertise as well.
Have you had a chance, or did the expert team have a chance to go take a look of other city nearby, like in Lopburi or Suphanburi or Ang Thong?
No. At this stage, our expert team didn't. There have been assessments with the government, and I believe also the World Bank did at least a costing assessment of the damage earlier in some of the other provinces, but we've been focusing on Ayutthaya as a World Heritage Site, and clearly as a site that has really been submerged quite dramatically in the center of the flooding. So.
As the preliminary assessment, I know it's still too early to tell, but put it in a simple word. Do you think it's fixable, the damage?
Yeah. I mean, clearly,
it's going to be a big work.
There's a lot of work. It's fixable. And then the question is, I would like it to end up even better than it was before. There were already some concerns about the site prior to the flooding.
Yeah, there were some experts saying that we have a chance that we may lose the heritage site status.
That's a different issue. That's what people were saying. No, there has never been any formal move to delist the site. There has been rumors about that. That has never come to UNESCO.
Okay, so we clear that.
It's only existed in the press. It hasn't existed at UNESCO.
So we clear that out.
Yes, I've heard. But nevertheless, clearly the site could need some reinvigorating. And in terms of management, the pressure of the urbanization is very large on the site. This has been discussed, and those experts are right to say that there have been issues around.
Right.
So the first thing at hand now, of course, is to deal with the damage caused by the flood.
Right.
And to at least stabilize so that no further damage is done. But this next thing is to really think in the rehabilitation, it's not just fixing the buildings and fixing the monuments, but fixing the management of the site, fixing the water management, fixing the tourism visitation, fixing the relation with the community. All of those things have to be brought together if we want to see the site being managed properly in the long term. And I believe that maybe this flood is an opportunity to really get everybody thinking about Ayutthaya, how it can be managed, what it means to the country, and so on.
How much authority UNESCO has in, like, I know we always have to deal with the government body and local people.
Look, it works like this.
But it's more like the supporters.
No, the World Heritage is actually an international treaty.
Right.
It's a convention. It's an international convention where countries sign on to the convention and they say that the idea behind the convention in simple terms is that there are certain heritage sites that are so valuable that they're valuable to the whole of humanity. And so countries agree to this and they sign on to a convention.
Right.
And they say, we are going to submit some of our sites as World Heritage Sites. We, the country, have the authority and the primary responsibility for the convention, but for the site, but we acknowledge that this site has relevance to all of humanity. So we take a commitment to you, the other countries, that we will protect this site.
Right.
At the same time, if we have problems protecting this site, we ask the other countries to help us protect. We, as UNESCO, act as facilitators, monitors, implementers of that convention.
Right.
But the authority, in a sense, is the collective authority of countries who are
of each country
who have signed a convention together. You know, that's how it works. I don't know if that's clear. So we monitor and we inform and we say, hey, there's a problem. But the decisions, any decision about it, is done by the World Heritage Committee, which are 24 member countries that sit on a rotating basis. We cannot make those decisions. You know?
Right. So, come back to the archaeology site again. What needs to be done urgently right now?
Right now, urgently is what we're doing. We need to do structural studies.
Okay.
Immediately. We've just done a first assessment of some of the, also the mural paintings. Clearly, we're going to have to start seeing how to rehabilitate that. We need to monitor the next 3 months the buildings, see if there's any structural issues, be ready to intervene quickly if there are. And we need to start planning the rehabilitation and the conservation work. I think those are the most urgent. And then there are still areas that are flooded.
Right.
They need to be dried out in a proper way. You can't pump the water out too quickly because that can create other issues. Yeah.
What should be mandatory prevention measure?
I think what we need is a full flood and multiple disaster management plan for Ayutthaya. It's better to be prepared. So we need to, I think the next phase is also starting to work not only with the heritage authorities, but I think we need to work with the city planners and the governor's office to have a proper crisis management. Flood is one, but there could be other forms also.
True.
Including tourism management, you know. I think the site needs to be protected on all sorts of levels, and I'm not sure that the management plans have been updated recently. They probably need to be updated, yeah.
Do they have to submit the management plan to the UNESCO?
Yes, we do, but this...
How often?
It's not... What happens is we do periodic reporting every 6 years. Okay. Every 6 years the sites have to report on their condition back to UNESCO. And according to that, it may be called in to provide a new management plan or not. It's not a fixed rule that this site has to have this many years.
It's more like grown-up people talking, have to take care of themselves.
Periodic reporting has to happen every 6 years. Then there can be reactive monitoring missions that if UNESCO is alerted to a problem in a site, the committee, which is, again, the Intergovernmental Committee, may ask UNESCO to send a reactive monitoring mission. And there UNESCO sort of says, okay, we've heard about this through a newspaper or somebody's attention, we want to come and check the situation. And then that goes back to the committee for discussion, and the committee may ask the country to answer some questions or make some interventions on the site.
But that's all the time I have right now, and until I see you next time, สวัสดีค่ะ